Good evening, everyone. My name is Sahil. I am from Emeritus Program Advisory Team. It's great to see all of you present here for this session. We'll just wait for 2-3 minutes more. And in the meanwhile, I would like you to just introduce yourself and which part of Thailand you're in right now. Okay. We'll wait for 1 minute more and then we'll start. So let's begin the webinar. So firstly, welcome everyone. We have this open house for the Global MBA program, which is from UWA, University of Western Australia, and in collaboration with Sasin School of Management. So what we have lined up today is we'll have a quick introduction about of our professors who have joined us. We'll cover the program structure, so the entire 2 years, how it is divided. We will even cover why this program, what are the advantages of doing this program. We will see what is the advantage of getting associated with universities like University of Western Australia and also getting associated with Sasin School of Management. We will cover what are the particular people are this program is designed for, what are the modules, what are the credentials that you will receive, the key takeaways from the program. We will discuss a little bit about the alumni status. Program details will be shared, and finally we will have a Q&A at the end. Uh, while doing the Q&A, I would request all of you all to wait so that I can share some exciting tuition assistance offers that we have. So, quick introduction about Professor Paul. I am delighted to introduce him. He is from the University of Western Australia and a distinguished academic in the field of economics and business management. Professor Crompton is a senior lecturer at the university. He is the co-director of MBA program. Over his career, he has held various pivotal positions like Australian Bureau of Agriculture and Resource Economic. He also has represented University of Tasmania. Professor Paul Crompton leads the Managerial Economics Unit in the second year of this program. And also you will get the experience to have a live lecture with Professor Paul. From Sasin School of Management, we have Professor Roy Tomizawa. He's the Chief Executive Education at Sasin. Professor Roy has over 30 years of experience in organizational and talent development in various countries like United States, Japan, Thailand, Singapore. He has supported leadership teams of major global corporations in talent management, leadership development, career advancement, performance evaluation, employee engagement. Leveraging his background as a former journalist and author, he also emphasizes effective communication. And currently, he is investigating the influence of artificial intelligence in human development. This is the program structure, which is divided into 2 years. So the first year you will cover 6 modules, 6 courses from Sasin School of Management. Second year, again 6 modules with the University of Western Australia. So by the end, 12 modules, and you will be awarded with a Global MBA degree. Professor Paul, I would like you to take this slide ahead. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the introduction and welcome everyone. Good turnout tonight. And yeah, really nice to be here talking to you all. So this is an MBA program. Who is the program for? Well, it's designed for mid to senior level working professionals. But the thing with an MBA degree is that our students at the University of Western Australia come from all sorts of different industries. So we have in our MBA program teachers, doctors, nurses, we have farmers, people that work in the mining industry, engineers. But they all have one thing in common. They're very driven individuals and they want to progress their careers. And they find an MBA attractive because an MBA will equip them with the sort of knowledge that they need for career progression. We also have a lot of people coming into the program looking for career change as well. And that's certainly something that an MBA can deliver. One of our students that went through the program about 5 years ago, he was a teacher, a high school teacher. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He just knew that he didn't want to do teaching anymore. He wanted to leave the classroom and change career. Completed his MBA at UWA and then moved into a management consulting career with, where did he end up? Ernst & Young. And so he's doing quite well. So it's not, an MBA is not just for career progression, that is moving up the ladder in your organization or your industry. It's also very effective in equipping you with the skills to move into other industries and different professions altogether. This is a program that is offered by 2 fantastic institutions, Sasin School of Business and the University of Western Australia, both very highly ranked globally. And so it does then give you that sort of global recognition of your qualifications. But most importantly, it does enhance your managerial expertise. And we have put together a program which we believe provides you with training in all the key areas that managers need in the current business environment. Okay, so next slide, please. So why choose this program? I've already mentioned a couple of these. The content of the program has been thought through very, very carefully. You'll learn everything from organizational behavior through to accounting, finance, marketing, economics, organizational change, supply chain, management operations, leadership, and more. So it's a very strong program, and we put a lot of time and work into designing not only the 12 units, but we drill down into the content of each of those 12 units to make sure that the program would deliver exactly what people want it to deliver. It is online. It's an online program for working professionals, which means that you won't have to leave your day job, and it's very convenient in that the study that you'll be doing in a program such as this, you'll be able to do it at night, weekends, when you have free time. So there's very few set times. There are a few live classes in each unit where you have to be online at a particular time, but generally it's very, very flexible, meaning you can study exactly when you want to study. At the University of Western Australia, we've gone through a very significant change recently, and about 33% of about 1/3 of our students are now studying online. So the ability to study online in MBA programs is really growing in popularity, both at the University of Western Australia, but also around the world. You would also become a graduate of the University of Western Australia with an MBA degree, and we've got a massive alumni base, as do Sasin. The curriculum really is focused globally, and it's focused on, as I said, what managers need to know. and all of the faculty have very strong academic credentials. So most of the people that would be teaching you have a PhD and years of, I should say, decades and decades for most people of teaching and research experience. And so being able to blend the research that we do and bring it into the classroom is very, very important. There's a 2-day campus immersion by Sasin, and Roy may tell you more about that. And also you would gain global recognition with dual credentials. As we'll show you soon, you won't just walk away with one credential, you walk away with 2. So that's quite an attractive feature of this program. And next slide, please. Okay, and so the University of Western Australia, upon completion of this program, you would graduate with a UWA MBA degree. We are the number 4 ranked business school in Australia, number 1 ranked in Western Australia, which is one of the states of Australia. We're also one of the group of 8 universities in Australia. They are the most prestigious sort of 8 universities. We're double accredited, AA, CSB and Equus. There's a lot of different accreditations that you can, or that a university or a business school can acquire, but we've just selected what we believe is the 2 most important, that is AA, CSB and Equus. We're a top 100 university according to the QS World Rankings. And what that means is that the University of Western Australia, that name, the brand of the university, is incredibly widely recognised now around the world. So it doesn't matter where I go. I led a tour recently to the US and met with people from a number of universities. This was a tour where I took MBA students and we visited companies and had different talks. But wherever I went, people had heard of the University of Western Australia because we are well inside the top 100. Okay, thanks. Sahil.
I would like to welcome Professor Roy to share his insights about Sasin. Over to you, Professor Roy.
So can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So thank you, Paul, and thank you, Sahil. Let me tell you a bit about the story of Sasin, which was established in 1982. It started as a partnership of 3 schools, Chulalongkorn University, and 2 great institutions from the United States. It was that time in the early 80s where there was so much happening in terms of globalization. So many family businesses needed to be modernized, and there was just a tremendous emphasis on finance at the time. And I think the head of Thai Farmers Bank was saying to universities in Thailand that we're just not training people at the levels that we need to. So it was decided that in Chulalongkorn University, they would seek to build a world-class MBA program. And when Chulalongkorn University partnered with Kellogg in Chicago and Wharton at Penn, which happens to be my alma mater, Sasin was formed. I actually taught at Sasin from 1995 to 2002. So my hallmates at the time were some of the very best professors in the world. And we've grown a very powerful brand in Thailand with Kellogg and Wharton over the years, but we have diversified. Now proud to have 50 plus partners from around the world. And it's been great expanding that network, as I'll explain. But like UWA, Sasin is also recognized by AACSB and Equus. In fact, we were the first institute to do so in Thailand. We have our students have just great opportunities to work on real practical projects in collaboration with such great institutions as MIT, Fudan, and Tsinghua. So we do have this. Recently, we have been partnering with Chinese universities. And our EMBAs, our executive MBAs, they actually go on a 2-week residential to the campus of Kellogg School of Management. Finally, Sasin does strongly prioritize sustainability, as does Chulalongkorn University. We view entrepreneurship through the sustainability lens. Much of our program is viewed through that lens. And as such, innovation and agility is also very much at the heart of what we do at Sasin. You may have heard of it. For many years, we've held the Bangkok Business Challenge, which is, as I understand it, the longest running startup competition in Asia. Next slide. Sasin was built originally on the model of flying in professors for our MBA program. So as a result of that early custom, our faculty today, including those you will meet, are a very diverse group. Here you can see that we have 80 total faculty, of which 31 are actually at our campus, and they're from multiple nationalities. I think in the program that you will participate in, if you choose to take this course, there will be 6 professors from 4 different nationalities represented. Next slide.
Professor Paul, yeah, sorry, Professor, are you taking this?
I think this is me.
Yes, this is you, sorry.
So of this 2-year program, Sasin kicks off the first year, and these are the 6 modules that will be covered in the Sasin Professional Certificate in Business Management program. And an American, Lance Richards, he's a longtime HR practitioner and Sasin faculty member, and he's leading the first module on human capital. Actually, in that particular case, I'm the one that does the live session. And I've done that twice so far, and they've been a lot of fun. Dr. Arnab Basu is an Indian visiting faculty member who is teaching the operations course. Your accounting professor is an American named Dr. Tom Connolly, who is in our core faculty. He actually oversees our DBA, our Doctorate of Business Administration program here at Sasin. And he's also had extensive experience at another business school called Chulalongkorn Business School. So he's a veteran here in Thailand. Fellow American Dr. Paul Tiffany teaches the International Strategy course. He was part of one of the he was sort of that mid-period Wharton faculty membership, and he still does teach here on occasion. In course 5, we have Dr. Stefano Starita. He's teaching the stats class, and he is the Italian member of our Sasin core faculty. Dr. Evan Douglas is the entrepreneurship faculty member. He's Australian, I believe. Both Evan and Paul, as I mentioned before, a long time visiting Sasin faculty. Next slide. And after completion of the 1-year Sasin certificate program, assuming you fulfill the minimum requirements, you'll receive this professional certificate in business management from the Sasin School of Management. And it is our intent to hand it to you proudly at the campus immersion event at the end of the year-long program. We intend to have a 2-day face-to-face program. I think the first one that we'll actually conduct will happen in late March or April, I believe. I have to check that, but we're looking forward to welcoming everyone at the end of the program for a great 2-day series of lectures and simulations and ceremony. So hope you will join us for that to the very end. Next slide. This is the benefit site. Yes. So let me talk briefly about student associate alumni benefits. So Chulalongkorn University, you may know, it's the campus itself. It's actually quite large. The actual physical footprint of the Sasin facilities, though, is quite small. It's a 10-story building with a lot of classrooms, which you will see at the campus immersion program. But we do have a few student and associate benefits. And as a student in the Sasin Professional Certificate in Business Management program, you'll receive such benefits as discounts at our campus restaurant. We have a cafe there. It's Doitun Cafe, and there's a Sasin store there as well. So there are discounts available. And further details regarding these benefits will be outlined in your digital student card, which you can receive later after you've registered for the program. And upon completion of the certificate program, you'll be designated as an associate alumni of Sasin School of Management. And you'll be invited to our public events, and you'll receive a newsletter, and that information will be provided separately. So just a bit more detail by when you have your student ID, by presenting it, you'll be able to access the first floor and library of Sasin School of Management. You'll actually have access to available parking space at Sasin School of Management. As you may know, Sasin is right near Mabung Krong in Siam Square area. So sometimes that parking comes in quite valuable. And as I mentioned, you'll get the discounts at the Sasin restaurant, store, and coffee shop. So those details will be forthcoming once you join the program. I think I'm done for that. Back to you, Paul.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Roy. So once you've completed the 6 units with Sasin, the second year of the program involves the remaining 6 units with the University of Western Australia. So the 6 courses are laid out there. The first one, Managerial Economics, is my course. That covers both microeconomics and macroeconomics. And I like to sort of think of economics as understanding the health of the marketplace that companies actually sell their goods and services into. So obviously the economy goes through a business cycle. When the economy is doing well, sales are generally well. When the economy is not doing so well, sales aren't so good. So understanding all of the things related to the business cycle, as well as individual markets and how individual markets operate from an economic perspective, is just going to give managers and executives a better understanding of the environment in which they operate, in which their company operates. So that's the first unit. The second unit is marketing, and that's taught by a colleague of mine, Joe Snedden. Joe's been teaching MBA students for many, many years. Probably our most popular marketing professor. And marketing is all about not only business to customer marketing, but also business to business marketing. So in that unit, you'll learn things such as forecasting demand, also how to segment your markets so that you can offer different segments of the market, slightly different products. Things like advertising strategies are covered. Promotion, budgeting and allocation, and also being able to assess whether the marketing spend of your business has been successful or not. It also includes pricing decisions. So how do you set prices for your product in different market segments? What's the sort of the science behind that? And of course, there's many more things that the marketing unit covers. That's just a selection. The third unit is business strategy. Probably one of the more important things for senior leaders these days, being able to identify what the company's strategy is, set new strategies, and sort of steer the course that a company needs to take to follow the new strategy. So you'll be looking at things like competitor positioning, game theory, what's your competitive advantage, what's your core competency, entrepreneurial strategies, strategic turnaround, strategic leadership, ethics, and also a little bit of strategic change. So it's really difficult to comprehend in or convey in a session like this just how much information and learning and knowledge there is in each of these units. The next unit is leadership in organizations. That's taught by Jenny Hoffman. She teaches not only this unit, but she does a lot of work in the leadership area with companies in Western Australia, a very experienced leadership expert. And I like to tell people that leaders aren't born, they're made. So very few people are born with natural leadership skills. It's something that needs to be learned. And it is a combination of sort of management and psychology. So you'll be looking at not only yourself as a leader, identifying your strengths and weaknesses, but also being able to look at other people and identify their personality traits, and then being able to determine what is most likely to motivate certain individuals. Because certainly in my leadership experience, I've found out sometimes that the hard way that all people aren't motivated by the same thing. For some people, money is very important. For other people, it's job satisfaction and a feeling that they're actually contributing to an organization that's the key driver. So being able to understand all of those intricacies and complexities of what drive people, so that you can actually put together a team and work with a team that's as effective as possible, is a very, very important component of being a leader. The fifth unit that we have, organizational change and transformation. When I was working with other people at the University of Western Australia, this was one of the first units we put in to the list that we were going to offer, because the rate of change in today's world and business environment and within businesses themselves is unparalleled. We're going through such rapid change at the moment, and that is not going to change in a hurry. We are going to, over the coming decades, things are going to continue changing at a pace that they've never changed before. And all you need to do is look at things like robotics, automation, AI, and just think forward to fully understand how much change there is in the years and decades ahead. We really haven't seen a period like this before. And so the important thing to understand there is that many people have difficulty dealing with change, particularly in the workplace. Change is very, very disruptive. Some people handle it very well, other people don't handle it well at all. And so there is a science behind leading an organization through change and transformation. And this unit goes through the ideas and the skills that you'll need to be able to lead these sorts of changes, what to look out for, what to be wary of and be aware of with your employees when change is taking place within the organization, whether that change is led by you as a leader or it is imposed on your business by external factors, doesn't really matter. People are still going to have difficulty handling that type of change, but this unit will really equip you with the skills that you need to put the business in the best position to be successful in a changing environment. So that's taught by one of probably our most popular professors, Dee Roach. Students absolutely love her. And then the final unit, managerial finance, that's taught by Russell Poskett, a colleague of mine. That is all about investment analysis. So being able to look at different investments and being able to make the correct decisions about which investments to undertake. Most companies, no, pretty much all companies, only have access to so much capital. Whether that is shareholder capital or borrowed money, there is a limit to how much investment a company can undertake. So it's always challenging to be able to compare investment options in a situation where you can't do everything, being able to compare investment options correctly and pick the best for your business. So this unit looks at things such as capital markets, debt, equity markets, interest rates, how to value projects, various financial instruments, bonds, equity derivatives, capital budgeting, risk-return relationships, also diversifying as well. So does it make most sense for a company to actually expand along its existing lines? Or does it make more sense for the company to actually diversify its operations? Things like this are important decisions that need to be made. And certainly and they're the 6 units, but certainly what our students find is that once they've completed an MBA, talking to their colleagues, going into meetings, they can contribute more, They have a deeper understanding of exactly what the conversations are about. And yeah, they can just contribute more and understand and follow the conversations a lot better. And one thing that I always say to students coming into the MBA program at the University of Western Australia is don't view the coursework that we've laid out tonight as a finishing point. View it as a starting point. So once you've graduated with your MBA, you should continue to learn. And that is certainly possible once you've been equipped with all of the knowledge and skills that an MBA program provides you. So I would encourage people to, once they've graduated from their MBA, continue learning. It's going to make you a better professional, a better leader, and certainly more valuable to the organization as well if you just continue to learn. So don't think of an MBA as an end point. It's really a starting point. The graduation from an MBA program is a starting point in a long life journey of learning. So next slide, please. Okay, so Professor Roy's already outlined the certificate that you will get after the completion of the first year. One of the good things about this program is that you get a second certificate at the end of the second year. And this is what it looks like. So just imagine that certificate there with your name on it, framed, hanging on your wall at home or in your office. It's a University of Western Australia globally recognized degree, the MBA Global. So that's something that our students are very proud to display and have on their CV. But it's not just having an MBA on your CV that's important. It's the knowledge and skills that the MBA program equips you with, which makes you a more effective leader, a more effective worker, and also it makes you better equipped to undertake and be successful at that next interview. So next slide, please. And then finally, the University of Western Australia, the alumni network, over 145,000 alumni, and quite a few thousands of those are from our MBA program. So you will get invitations to exclusive UWA alumni events and networking opportunities. The networking, I guess, is for an online program like this, is probably most convenient through something like LinkedIn, where a lot of we do have various UWA MBA LinkedIn sites, and students do provide information about what's going on those sites, and it's a good way of connecting with other UWA MBA graduates. There is a regular e-newsletter from the University of Western Australia as well, and 2 editions of the UWA UniView publication. And then finally, you will get, as soon as you enroll at the University of Western Australia, which will be the start of the second year, you will get a UWA ID card. So the first year, you'd be enrolled as a Sasin student. Once you've completed those 6 units, then you apply to the UWA MBA program. Once you've accepted into that, we then give you full credit for the first 6 units that you've done with Sasin. You've got another 6 units then to complete with UWA. Once you've done that, you are then an MBA graduate.
Thank you, Professor Paul, for the insights. Thank you, Professor Roy, as well. Quickly now, we'll cover the takeaways. Now, once you get associated with us, what are the things that are going to benefit you? So, like Professor Paul and Professor Roy said, you would be getting the alumni status from both the universities. You will also be a certified professional business manager from Sasin School of Management. It's a WES, that is World Education Services recognized degree that you're going to get. The modules, as you saw, are globally relevant. It's a global curriculum that we have, and also the professors are also award-winning researchers. The MBA is AACSB and ICWIS accredited. The best part about this program is that you will be able to manage your work at the same time, upskill yourself because of the flexible learning process. So you will be learning through recorded sessions during the weekdays. Weekends, you would be attending live sessions for discussions. Uh, Real life, assignments, case studies you will be learning through. So you're learning from the best practices from various organizations. We covered both the university's alumni benefits, and at the end, you will be also receiving Emeritus career support. We do not promise any placements, but we will help you develop your resume, how your LinkedIn profile should be displayed, a few templates for your resumes, etc. So this is the additional takeaway of this program. So this program is going to start on 18th of October. The total duration would be 2 years, and the fees that you would be paying is 9,000 US dollars for both the years. We have an application deadline coming up. It's on 11th October. So the process of application would be first to check your eligibility. You can get in touch with your program advisor. He will help you out. He or she will help you out with all the details. You need to compile documents that are required. There will be an application fee that you will pay. It's USD $70. Your application will be reviewed by the selection team, and then you will be receiving the acceptance letter where you can pay the booking amount. You can drop your question and answers now. We will open the floor for it. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the Q&A session. And we also have released a poll for you. I would request you to just put in your answers and submit it as well. You can type in your questions now. You can type it in the chat box also.
Maybe I can start by answering a question that we very often get on these online sessions. Quite a few people have asked, what's the difference between an MBA and an MBA Global? The answer is nothing. It's really just a name that we've selected at the University of Western Australia just to separate the degree from our domestically taught MBA. The word global just signifies that it is taught around the world, but it is just the same MBA degree that we teach at the University of Western Australia, and we've been teaching the MBA degree at the University of Western Australia for about 50 years now. So hopefully there's an answer to a question that some people might have been wondering, but hopefully that'll get some more questions flowing.
Yes, Vinita is actually answering few of them.
Okay.
So I'll just read out one of it. So the program is online session. So how do we do the assignments? Would you like to take it ahead, Professor Paul?
Yeah, the assignments are handed out with guidance as to exactly what is required, including the way the assignment's going to be marked. And then it's a matter of going away, doing the relevant reading, the relevant research, and then you've always got unit or course advisors to help you through that process. So there is plenty of help. But a lot of the learning in online MBA programs and even face-to-face MBA programs is self-guided. So it's very different from an undergraduate degree where in an undergraduate degree, the students are very, very young, typically 18, 19, 20 years old, and they need a lot of help, a lot of guidance. With an MBA program, people are older, more experienced. So the learning is much more self-directed. But of course, with the assignments, if you do get stuck, you'll always have online unit advisors to help you out and answer the questions that you have. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you so much, Professor Paul. Okay, one more question. Vinita is answering it.
Yeah, generally with the assignments, they do follow on from the coursework, the online lectures, the readings. So once you get into these units and you've done the readings, you've done the online lectures, and you've participated in the live sessions, then once you get the assignment, it becomes, I guess, quite natural. You'll sort of develop an understanding what's required and how to go about it. You are given help along the way. But these assignments are integrated into the course themselves. And so once you've started the course and you've been participating, once you get the assignment, it's generally quite natural what needs to be done and how you need to go about doing it.
Okay, so what about the minimum attendance? I think Vinita will answer that.
Yeah,
We
minimum.
receive a notification for the open campus immersion in Sasin once we get enrolled.
I think that's for you, Roy, possibly, or
Professor Roy, can you just
What,
tell a little bit
was the
about?
question?
So the Pedro wanted to know when will they get the notification for the campus immersion?
Well,
Once they
the
get
campus,
enrolled, or it?
no, the campus immersion is the final part of the certificate program. So after the program starts, it's approximately a year later. So we have not sent out the dates, and although we actually have established the dates, we have not started that process yet. But basically, it's shortly after the end of the last module, and of course, with months prior, we will inform people about when and where. Where is going to be at the Sasin School of Management. I could be wrong, but it's possible that the current two cohorts may have already been informed of the dates, because we did set the dates for the 2-day immersion courses. But I will have to check with Emeritus on that.
Thank you so much, Professor Roy. Any more questions? I think we do not have. Okay. Will both the school be delivered face to face in the ceremony or remotely? Vinita can answer this. She's answering it.
Yeah, okay. I can handle that second one, actually. What happens if a student completed the first year with Sasin, but decided not to go through the second year? That doesn't happen very often. Most people, once they've finished the first 6 units, really want to go on to the second 6 units. But if you did want to stop after the 6 units, you would walk away with the Sasin qualification, as outlined by Professor Roy. And that it would allow you to come back and complete the MBA later, but there is normally a time limit that we place. It's normally about 5 years. So if you wanted to just stop after the first 6 units with Sasin, as I said, you can certainly do that. It is quite rare that people do that, but it's possible. There's nothing forcing you to enroll in the remaining 6 units. And that, I guess that is a benefit of the program. If someone is hesitant to go through with the final 6 units, which, as I said, is very, very rare, then they still obtain that first qualification. So we don't encourage people to have breaks between the first and the second year. That continuity, I think, is very, very important. But sometimes people do get into situations where they need to take some time away from study. It could be a child is on the way, work is extremely busy, or sometimes we've had our students just fall ill and they've been unable to study. So that would mean that a person could take a year off and pick up the second 6 units of the program the year after.
Thank you, Professor Paul, for answering that. Okay, so I can see no more open questions. So before we end, a quick thank you to Professor Paul and Professor Roy for taking out time and sharing your valuable knowledge and insight with us today. I would also like to acknowledge the tremendous efforts that you have put in for preparing for this session and also to answer all the questions. Your responses have clarified doubts and I'm sure sparked further interest in the subject. I would also like to thank all the participants for their enthusiastic, involvement and insightful questions as well. Thank you all for being here. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.